The top three finishers of the F1 sprint here in Montreal. In third place, Kimi Antonelli. In second place, Lando Norris. And taking his third sprint victory, our winner, George Russell. Very well done, George. A great result for you. Quite a lot to unpick from that one. Can we start with the battle with your teammate? Talk us through lap 6 from your point of view.
Yeah, it was just good, hard battle, and obviously I defended into turn 1, and you know you never get overtaken around the outside of that corner, and so I knew it was kind of pretty safe. But kudos to Kimi for giving it a go, and respect that, and obviously came out unscathed, and then into turn 8. This track's just very dirty as well, offline. We've seen it all weekend. So I was quite nervous to defend too tightly into turn 8 because I knew that there was a chance of locking up if I went there, and that was about it really. So glad that we're both sat here now. It could have been something different, but it wasn't, and that's how racing should be.
Kimi said on the radio that you were very naughty. What's your reply to that?
I mean, I need to see it. I've not seen it. I don't know if it was under investigation or not. I don't think it was. So yeah, from my side, it's, as kids in karting, we know overtaking on the outside, there's a certain element of risk that comes with that, and they're amazing overtakes when they come off, but the chances are quite slim. So there's only one direction I was going, and I was going to close the line because that's my right to do so. So as I said, respect to him for giving it a go. Emotions are always high for all of us in the cockpit, but I'm sure we'll both talk about it after.
Okay, thanks for that. Lando, we'll come to you in a minute if you don't mind. Kimi, can I bring you in on this? Just hard racing, you agree with George?
Yeah, I need to check it as well, to be fair. I was quite well alongside, and there was definitely contact, so I need to recheck that. Yeah, was hard racing. Then in turn 8, to be fair, it was definitely too optimistic. I also took a massive bump, and I almost spun in a straight line, so also that induced the lockup. Yeah, just need to recheck it, and then yeah, we'll talk about it later.
You don't overtake around the outside of turn 1, according to George. Would you agree with him?
I think if you're well alongside, you can overtake pretty much anywhere. I mean, obviously there are corners that is more difficult, but I don't think there's never been an overtake running outside in turn 1. But I agree that also he was defending his position. So yeah, just was hard racing. Of course, we were both lucky not to crash, but. Yeah, was at the end of the day still was a very fun race.
Okay, Kimi, thank you. And Lando, just coming to you, you got the popcorn out. You're in a good seat.
Yeah, I now know kind of how it felt for some of the others last year. So it's obviously a nice position to be in. I think for us, even though the pace was actually pretty good, and I mean, the guys, they both pulled away a good amount, to be honest, in the beginning, and I just couldn't go with them. So I think we're clearly lacking a little bit of speed comparing to them, but the pace was still decent, especially then when I was a bit more behind George for the rest of the race. But yeah, yeah, it was I just wanted to get to the checkered flag, honestly. So was obviously helped out by the fact that they were racing each other hard, and was good to watch, honestly, just because sometimes it is good to watch the racing part of it. So that was a good watch, and of course we capitalized on it, and that's what we're there to do.
All right, thank you for that. Thanks to all three of you. Let's now open this to the floor, please. First one, name and publication.
John Noble from The Race. To Kimi, on the radio afterwards, you said, if we need to race like this, good to know. Has today changed perceptions on how you go racing with George? And George, are you surprised? Do you see anything unusual in how you battled today?
It's just obviously we do meetings before races, and that's what we say in the room. Then of course, we race to win, and we try to do our best to defend our position. So, of course, probably I understood the significance of that meeting a bit differently, but yeah, just obviously I need to recheck. I was very, emotions were very high in the moment, and obviously I was very annoyed, but I just need to recheck, and for sure we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna clarify on that.
Yeah, I mean, the truth is I need to check it as well. From my side, I didn't think I did anything wrong, and it wasn't investigated. So I guess for race directors and stewards thought the same, but I need to check it. And it is clear that between teammates we race hard and fair and no contact, and that's always the objective. I wasn't racing Kimi any harder than I would have raced Lando in the same position. We're both here fighting to win, and always in the past, even last year when we battled, I always gave Kimi a bit more room compared to anyone else. So as I said, I need to review it. There was nothing untoward with the driving, and as I said, I don't think it wasn't even investigated. So I think that says enough.
Okay, thanks both. Next one.
Phil Cleary, Spot.com, to George, please. Just in general, obviously Kimi won 3 races in a row, and this is a circuit that you've always gone really well at. So in a bigger picture, did you feel that despite it being very early in the season, that this is an important weekend just to reassert yourself?
I think it was more important for you guys and for the overall perception. For me, it was never in doubt. The fact that there was a big break after Japan and then another 2-week break after Miami, and Miami's always been a tough race for me. I know my weaknesses, and they've been pretty consistent over the course of my whole F1 career. It's just, you guys have never really noticed it because I've never been fighting at the front. Now it's a big talking point. I didn't have any doubts that I could come here and just be back fighting at the front as I was in the first 3 races of the season. Miami was a blip. Tough track for me. There's 1 or 2 later in the season as well, which I'm going to put a huge amount of focus on. But, it wasn't a big surprise to me seeing Kimi's exceptional performance in Miami, the same as last year, and for me to be back sort of in the fight again this weekend.
Thank you, George. Another one?
Adam Cooper F1. We didn't get the rain in Miami, but it looks like there's a good chance we'll get it tomorrow. What are your thoughts about a wet race here, given most people have had no running or just a little bit of testing?
All 3, Adam?
Yep. Sorry, for all 3.
Yeah, George, start with you.
I mean, from the drivers who have spoken, who have driven in the wet, they sound pretty concerned about it, not because of the power or the downforce of the cars, because they don't feel the tyres are good enough. The 3 of us here haven't experienced the wet this year. Kimi and I both drove this wet tyre last year, and it wasn't a very good feeling, to be honest, and ended up a few times through the gravel and damage to the car. So time will tell. I really hope that's not the case. It shouldn't be the case. We want to fight hard and fair, but the wet tyres haven't been great at the best of times, and unfortunately this sounds like it's going to be a step worse.
Lando, your thoughts?
Tough. I mean, looking forward to it as an opportunity, not looking forward to it because the comments from the others, like George said, are not great. So, we just, when you have 1,000 horsepower and, you have a street circuit, then, you need good tyres to go with it. And from what we've heard, that's not exactly what we have going into tomorrow. So we're waiting to see. I've never driven in the rain with these tyres yet. So it'll be a new situation for me. And I think it's made even tougher the fact that it is a street circuit and, got a lot of margin for error. And it's a low grip track. So, excited. Could be a lot of chaos. But honestly, at the same time, we don't sign up to do the chaos. We want the best of everything. And I know Pirelli are working on better at the time being. But let's wait and see how it goes.
Kimi, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, as George said, we tried the tire last year and it was not the nicest. There were a few also aquaplaning moments. So it's just, it's tricky. And then, of course, this is already a track where it's hard to put temperature already on the dry on tires. So I think tomorrow is going to be cold and wet, and it's going to be hard to build temperature, which is the main thing for us, because once you get the temperature, it's actually not too bad, but it's those first few laps where you're just sliding around and the tire is not really working. So it's not easy. It's going to be tricky, but let's see first what's the weather going to be like, because also in Miami it was meant to rain and it didn't. So let's see tomorrow.
Thanks all three. Another one, please. Yep.
Nicole Muldo, GP blog. Question to Lando. Lando, last year you and Oscar were battling each other quite hard at times. And then Max almost managed to take it away from you, almost, at the end. Do you see a similar scenario developing at Mercedes, with now you maybe being the one able to take it away from them?
I mean, we're still just very early on in the season. At the minute, I'm just trying to maximize every result that we can. Today was certainly one of those days where, in a way, we didn't deserve to be P2, but we were. Well, we deserved to be P2. We shouldn't have been P2 when we were. So we'll see, I think. But it's just what you get. I think when you have two good drivers fighting for a championship with a good team, that's kind of what you expect. Each individual has to fight for their own career. You don't kind of just go out to prove your point every time, but you go because we signed up for it as an individual. You grow up alone, wanting to be the best in the world, and every driver wants to do it. So they both have, their own point to prove. They both want to go out and race, and at the minute they're fighting more than anyone for the World Championship. So, that's what they need to do. So we'll be there. I think we're still lacking a bit at the minute, probably similar to last year from Max's position. So we'll see how much we can hang on for the time being. But obviously a day like today, we maximised everything we could.
Thank you. We'll do one more. Yep.
Ronald Vodding, motorsport.com. It's another one for Kimi. You just mentioned the pre-race meetings, and that, in your opinion, it was maybe different from what we've seen on track. If the evaluation of this sprint race shows that this is within the boundaries, will you then change your approach going forward in terms of the safety margin you leave when leaving fighting your teammate?
For sure, I think probably we just need a bit of clarity, and then once it's clear, then it's all gonna be fine. I think definitely I need to probably ask again, but the main thing for the team is that there's no contact, that we don't crash into each other, which today at the end was very close. I think that's the most important for the team. And also, as a driver, you don't want to crash into your own teammate. We all want the best for, first of all, each other, but also for the team. So for sure, we will clarify, and everything's gonna be fine.
Okay, thank you guys. Well done. Good luck in qualifying.